Hey guys, thank you so much for being here for my How to Get Away with Murder live chat. And I just want to start off by saying hello to everyone who's in the room and say hi to me in the comments so I can give you a shout out. I see that E is here and Logan, thank you for being here. Also, last week, I'm so sorry. First of all, I haven't uploaded any videos about shows last week, and then also I wasn't able to do a live chat last week. I had a family member staying during last week, and then I went to the Dominican Republic, and I just got back this week, so I'm behind. I've actually not watched the last 2 episodes of Riverdale, not because I didn't want to, just because I really haven't had time to catch up on them. But I am caught up on How to Get Away with Murder, and I'm also caught up on This Is Us, for those of you who have asked me about that. Bullet Club is watching this in class. Hey, that sounds better than being in class to me. Hi, Jack, and hi, Luke. Just don't get in trouble. I don't know what kind of class you're in. If you're in college, it doesn't matter, but lower than that, they might be mad. I don't know. But anyway, hi, Emily. So, unfortunately, I will not be able to talk about Riverdale at the end of this chat like we did the last time we did this because I'm not caught up, so I'm really sorry about that. But I do intend to catch up on it. You guys can let me know if it was any good because I don't know. And also, I'm just going to be doing something special. I'm planning on doing something special for This Is Us Sunday night. I don't know how late the show is going to be on. It's a very big episode. I'm not going to be specific in case you don't watch or don't want to be spoiled. But it's a really big episode, and depending on like what time it ends, I may do something after. But it could be on like super, super late, so who knows. But if not, I can plan to do a live chat on Monday for the special episode of This Is Us. So if you're a fan, I will be posting stuff on my Twitter about that. But I know you guys are here for How to Get Away with Murder. I thought this episode was a little bit slower than the first 2 of this season, but still I enjoyed it, and I thought the ending was good. One thing I will say is I feel like they are struggling really hard, always trying to make Nate relevant. So the storyline with his dad and all of that I found kind of boring, and it took up a lot of this episode. It may be going to a good place, I don't know, but I just feel like they're always trying to make viewers understand why Nate is on the show besides eye candy, and I'm just kind of over it. And it's no hate against the actor because he was on Dexter and I really liked him on that series. And I just kind of feel like his character is kind of useless on this show. So some of the stuff that I also found interesting about this episode, or one of the things, is what is going on with Roa. I mean, I don't know if that's a big red herring, but like, did he have something to do with his daughter's death? Was it a murder? Because as you guys know, I have not enjoyed him on the show. I don't like his character, and I found him to be very, very useless throughout the whole first half of this season, and now the continuation of that. So now if they're going to try to say that he killed his daughter or something, now that becomes more interesting, and I see more of a reason why he is on the show. So I'm kind of hoping there is something to that, and they're not just playing games with us. I know that Annalise feels like it's all, you know, he's being blackmailed or framed is what she said. He's being framed. So I don't know. Possibly it's nothing because we know the DA is out to get Bonnie and everything. So, you know, we know that the DA, we know they would want to mess with him because they want Annalise to look bad and Annalise to lose. Yeah, Emily says you were shaking when Roa was being cross-examined. I mean, I don't know, but it just seems like, I mean, Bonnie seems to think there's something more to it than just them messing with her. So it's interesting. Tobin says you can't stay, but you wanted to ask if I've seen my response, or your response to my tweet. I don't know, did you tweet it today or just a few minutes ago? Because I thought I was caught up on all my tweets from people, but if not, I may have just totally missed it. So I would say, Tobin, if you tweeted it recently, I will go look at it, but if it was like a day ago, you might want to say it again, because I didn't see it. Logan says Riverdale was really good. Okay. I will need to catch up on that. Luke is asking, you don't know how you would feel if they say that Wes is alive. Okay, so also the other thing we need to talk about is the topic of the title of this live chat about Laurel's mom. So Laurel's mom has become a big character as of this episode and the very end of last episode. And we know from this episode that she met up with Wes before he died. So that's weird. But this is some stuff I was thinking about over the last couple of weeks before watching this episode. How are they going to explain, like, how did Dominic know Wes / Kristoff? Now, what's going on with him meeting up with, her mom? And so I don't like when shows go down the road of having the cliche as so-and-so has a twin. I don't like that. Obviously, that has been used in a lot of shows, and I think it's kind of a cop-out because it's just like, it's just kind of a lazy way to put a twist in a show. But I was definitely thinking after we found out that Dominic had a conversation with Wes before he died, and that maybe there is a twin going on here. We don't know a lot about his background. We saw his mom, like, you know, we knew that she had him as a kid, but it could totally be possible that there were two babies, and we just haven't seen that part of the story. So, what I would say about that is that I almost feel like Kristoff is the one who has the Dominic connection, the Laurel's mom connection. Like, he has different connections than Wes. And maybe Kristoff is evil. Maybe Kristoff was one of the people orchestrating Wes's death for whatever reason. I don't know if he was jealous of his brother or what his deal is, but I really feel like they're going that route. Now, I don't know if this is something that they have planned forever, because I never quite understood why they wanted to get rid of Wes. When I found out that his character was killed off, I figured it was because Alfred Enoch had gotten another job, like maybe he was going to be like starring in a movie or something, and I always found it weird, like when he did interviews, he said he was totally shocked. He had no idea he was going to be, you know, taken off the show. So Emily says the show is too good for a twin cop-out. I mean, I agree with you because this show is very, very smart. But, and then Liana is saying, she's thinking the writers are regretting showing Wes's dead body. They're trying to bring him back, but it just wouldn't work. I mean, I feel like the only way they can bring him back is if he has a twin. I feel like if they try to say he didn't really die, like, to me, that is really stupid. But the biggest issue I have with all of this, and I think the biggest clue that we have that this could be a twin situation, is the fact that when Wes was on the phone, or when he was leaving a voicemail for Dominic, he didn't say, hey, this is Wes, or he didn't just say, hey, what's up, and didn't give his name. He said Kristoff, and obviously he said that for a reason, and I think that is the clue, and that points to there being two people here. Now, I know that Kristoff was the name of the person from the past, right? Like, that was what we thought Wes was known as. But what if we were seeing Kristoff, the twin, in the past, but there was also a Wes who was the twin? I know that's confusing, and I don't know if that's what's going on, but to me, that is a better situation than having Wes come back from the dead, which is very stupid. Tobin says, Celebrity Big Brother in the UK has Courtney, the drag queen who you love, and a homophobic ex-politician who really hurts your hopes, so it's personal. Man, I don't know probably who either one of those people are, but that sounds intense and terrible at the same time. Thank you, Tobin. Love you, too. We have seen Wes's dead body. I mean, I think even in the preview from last night, they showed, like, the burned face and whatever. Or we could go the direction of the twin is dead, Kristoff is dead, I don't know, and then the Wes that we knew is alive. I don't know. I mean, again, I don't love them, any show going with the cliche of, guess what, this person didn't die because you thought they were dead, but it was really their twin or whatever. Or they died, but they actually also have a twin. You know, I definitely get PLL vibes from that, and PLL is not very well done, you know, and I believe I've seen this in a lot of other shows, and you probably have too, and it's usually not shows that are amazing that do this little twist, you know, but at the same time, I feel like we're going somewhere with that, and I would really be upset with the show if they tried to say, Wes never died. Like, that is just ridiculous. Hi, Amy. Hi, thank you so much for being here. So anyway, I think there's a lot of very interesting storylines going on. I mean, of course, I am dying to know. I've been dying to know, like, how did Dominic know Wes? But now, how did he know Laurel's mom? And it's a little weird to me. Let's think about this here. I mean, why were all these different people from Laurel's family or past, you know, people connected to Laurel, why were they involving themselves with Wes? And it obviously seems like the relationship Wes, whoever that is, had with Dominic wasn't some, like, forced relationship. Like, they seemed to, like, the way he was talking to him, they had a pretty good relationship. It wasn't like some kind of blackmail thing or some kind of forced whatever. So, I mean, I think that it's bizarre that Wes has these secret relationships or meetings or whatever with people in Laurel's circle of friends and family. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on with that. E says Wes was a foster child. I guess he did go live in a foster home after his mom died. Is that what happened? Curie Q says, what you like about the season is that you can't figure out what will happen. Yeah, I mean, if we could figure out, as much as I love to figure things out, if you could figure out what was going to happen in every show, it really wouldn't be that good of a show, because it's like, well, that's too easy. So, I think that that's what makes the show really good, and I love to be surprised. So maybe they have a really good answer as to how Wes knew Dominic and Laurel's mom, and it's something that none of us have discussed or none of us have thought of, and that would be wonderful for me. Like, I don't want, like, what I'm thinking to happen all the time, because that's boring, you know? Luke says we have 3 episodes left and then the finale. Well, that is the most depressing thing I've ever heard, because is this like the shortest half season ever? Because that is way too short. Is that right? Because that's crazy. Like, this literally just started back up. Emily says you thought the dynamic between Frank and Laurel's mom was so funny. It was funny because he really wanted to be accepted by her mom, and I think he wanted to be like, oh, I'm kind of like your daughter's boyfriend or whatever, because, you know, he really wants to be with Laurel, like, probably would marry her, wants to help raise her kid and everything. So I am very bummed if we only have, I guess we have 4 episodes left, but still, that's like way too little, way too short of a half season. It gets confusing when, you know, and not every show is like Riverdale where there's like 25 episodes in one season, you know, that's kind of like crazy, but I think that's too many, but this seems like too little because there's so much going on. And we didn't have a whole lot going on with Simon. Other than, I think Connor's advice to Oliver was good, because it's like, well, if he tries to get money for his family to come over to see him, you know, he's doing all these things, and it definitely makes him look like he's guilty. It's like, why, like, obviously you weren't that close to him. Like, why are you, like, going out of your way to help this guy who you didn't really know that well, you know? Like, you knew him, but it's, like, really bizarre. Like, it wasn't like he was his boyfriend or something like that. Like, it's weird, because he was there when this incident happened. Luke says you love how each episode this season ends with a huge bombshell twist. You wonder what week's episode is going to drop. Yeah, I love that, too. Absolutely. Liana says Frank can kill anybody without batting an eye, but Laurel's mom intimidates him. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he's, like, in love with Laurel, and he's just kind of, you know, like you said, intimidated by her mom. Emily says you didn't understand what was going on with Bonnie in Denver. I guess basically the DA is spying on Bonnie, you know, mirroring her computer and everything. And I mean, I think he knows that he was basically saying she's trouble. She's working with Annalise. Like, he knows that. And he, like, wants to take her down. That's what I think. But she thinks she has him fooled, and, like, he thinks everything's cool and that she's on his side. Deja says Laurel's mom telling Laurel that Wes was coming home and then correcting herself by saying Wes Jr. seemed weird to me. Okay, so that is weird. And again, I'm hoping this points to the twin. There's a twin out there, not Wes never died. And it's not that I wanted Wes to die, and I thought that was a really bold move. And I will say this too, like, I thought them killing off Wes was really big, because a lot of shows, not all shows go to a level where they're going to kill off a main character and don't take it back. Now, a criticism of that has always bothered me with other shows is when they pretend to kill off a big character, then come back later and say it wasn't really them, or pretend to kill off a big character and say they didn't really die. Or the third thing, which has happened a lot, and especially in Pretty Little Liars, is to say, pretend to kill off a big character and say, actually, we killed this twin, but the real person's still alive, or whatever. So Emily is saying, do I think Laurel's dad is not responsible for Wes's death? He pretty much said last night he wasn't, and I think that's true. Yes. I think that was something they wanted us to believe for a long time, and I think we're going to find out that he wasn't responsible. But I can't figure out, I don't have all the pieces yet to figure out what has caused this. Like, was Dominic hired by Laurel's mom to kill Wes, and then why? Like, there may be pieces of this puzzle we just don't know. Like, why would someone from Laurel's family, other than her dad, want Wes dead? Was it something he actually did to one of those people because he knew them from the past? Was it something that they feared that he would do to Laurel, or were worried she would get pregnant by him, or, you know, all these different situations? I don't know. E says you want Oliver dead. He begged to be in the crew forever despite Connor's objections. Yeah, you know, I did a video last year when I thought he was like evil or whatever. And it's funny because I got so much hate for doing like a negative Oliver video, so you better be careful with that, with your thoughts about him. You know, I don't know if I want him to die or anything. I just think I really wanted him to be evil just because I thought that would be a good twist, but I don't really think they're going to go there. Colin's asking if Wes could have faked his death. And again, if they go that route, that's so stupid because they showed us his, you know, hello. I'm really starting to think about Pretty Little Liars again, where it's like they show you someone's dead body and the person didn't die. And that really bothers me. But I mean, here we go. That's not a bad thought though, Colin, because it's like, it's not as if the show said he died, but he survived. Like you're saying, could he have faked his death? Could he have he was in on it. Like, not like he was injured, but he's alive and hiding. Like, the whole thing was fake. Honestly, that's not bad, because he obviously had some kind of relationship with Dominic. But why would they go through that whole scenario if nobody was watching that? I guess to later on say this is how he died. I don't know. You know, but why would he want to fake his death? And then I still do have an issue with, if he did fake his death, the fact that we saw him in the morgue and his face was all burned. Like, that doesn't make a lot of sense, because I don't think people in the morgue, the professionals, would be fooled by that. They wouldn't be like, oh, you know, this guy is totally dead when it was a live person with some kind of like really great stage makeup. I don't know. Deja says, so is Laurel's dad taking the baby away to protect him from Laurel's mom? Well, I don't know, because Laurel's mom hasn't really been in the picture when he was doing all of his shenanigans to get the baby away from her. But, you know, I don't know if them ending the show showing that she knew Wes was kind of a red herring to be like, ooh, she's the one that wanted him dead, she's the evil one here, or if that's really what's going on. But I just still think there's a lot more to the story of Wes and who he was connected to, and was it really Wes, or was it the Kristoff twin, or what's the deal here, you know? Curie Q says it would not make any sense if Wes is alive. That would be a jumping the shark moment. I think that would be a terrible move on their part to say he was faking his death or survived or any of that nonsense. I mean, the only other explanation for that would be like the people who were in the morgue who saw his dead body were actually also in on this whole thing, and, you know, it was just a bunch of makeup. I don't know. Luke, I really hope they don't go with the mask route and it was actually some other random dude wearing a Wes mask. That would be just terrible. Hi, Jay. Thank you so much for being here. I know probably most people in here saw Pretty Little Liars, and I really should not compare this show to that show because I think it's on such a higher level. Deja says, we also saw the flashback of Dominic killing Wes, so it wouldn't make sense for Wes to be alive. No, it definitely wouldn't, unless, like, I forgot who brought it up, Connor, I think, earlier, unless that whole thing was staged and Wes and Dominic were in on the fact that they were going to fake his death. But then again, I don't know what is the purpose here. Is that something we just haven't been told? Why? Why are we going through all of this? Like, and also I'm thinking, like, if Wes truly loved Laurel, there would have to be a huge reason to fake your death and have her believe you're dead when she's pregnant with your child. Like, if you cared about her at all, like, why would he do that to her? Like, put her through that devastating loss and he was alive the whole time? Like, obviously, was that not real? Did he not really care about her? Because you don't do that, like, to somebody if you really love them, unless, you know, I feel like if you're going to fake your death and you had a significant other like that, you would let them be in on it and they could be faking their emotions. And I feel like she was really depressed to a level that it wasn't like she was in on whatever secret this is. I don't know. Liana says, you think they're playing up the fact that Wes was shady. You don't think he's alive. So yeah, was that the case? Was there a side of Wes we just didn't know? Was he somebody we really couldn't trust and we thought we could? Or is this an evilish twin? Emily says, you missed the Keating 4 and Annalise working on cases and battling in the courtroom. We really haven't had much of that this year because there's just been so much, well, at least this half season, because there's been so much other drama going on. But I definitely think there's still stuff we just don't know, which I guess we could say that about the show at any given time. Because I can't right now, and I don't think any of you guys can either. I don't know how Wes is connected to Laurel's mom, to Dominic, who is a person who was prominent in Laurel's past and also a person connected to her dad. What is that connection? You know, how can I explain that? How can we explain that? Or is it because he had this twin who had all these connections because his twin has lived like a totally different life than him? And then also, didn't some of these people live in like Mexico or something? And like, how do I make that connection? Because remember, people knew Wes as Christoph when he was a kid. So did he know Dominic from being a kid? And like, was he in Mexico or what? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, there's just a bunch of loose ends here that I can't connect. And I think it's just because the show hasn't given us all the pieces that we need. Emily says when Annalise looked into Roa's house at the end of the episode, was he having a drug OD? So when she was looking through, you know, trying to figure out if he was home, I definitely thought at that moment they were going to show him, like pan over to him, and he had like committed suicide or something, because that's kind of like, oh, he did like actually either murder his daughter or, you know, kind of contribute to her death. But he looked strung out. Like, I think he was on heroin or something. That's what I took from it. Luke says they finally told Nate's past a little on this episode. Yeah, so we didn't really know anything about his dad and all of that stuff. And I said at the beginning of this chat that I kind of felt like I'm not really down with that because I just don't care about Nate that much as a character. And I just don't know where, maybe we're going somewhere. Maybe there's going to be really great revelations from this whole, you know, his dad, or not ex-con, but his dad's a convict, you know, storyline, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's someone for Annalise to use as her face case or whatever. I don't know. But right now, I just kind of like, that is not like something I want to, I don't want them to focus on that right now, because there's so many other good bits of drama with Laurel, and especially with Wes and what's his connection to these people. And then I really thought that the Roa stuff was very good this episode. And I just felt like we spent a lot of time with Nate's dad's storyline, and there's so many other really good storylines that I was like kind of bummed when we kept coming back to that. So I don't know. But I wanted to mention again, anybody in here who watches This Is Us, and if you were curious, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of this episode or this live chat, but I am completely caught up. I will be watching This Is Us Sunday. I want to watch it live because it's like the episode that we've all been waiting for. I don't know what time it's going to be on, because it's going to be on after the Super Bowl. That could be, you know, if it ends at a normal time, it could be early, it could be super late if there's like ties and stuff. So, I don't know if I'm going to do like a live, I want to do some kind of live chat or video. I probably, if I can do, if it's not too late, we'll do a quick video Sunday and try to get that up Sunday. But I do want to do a live chat Monday, like at 4 p.m. about that episode. So, oh, is it on before the Super Bowl? Okay, I thought it was on after. I kept reading like on Facebook, and like people were complaining because it was on after the Super Bowl. So if it's on early, that is really cool, so I can get a video up on Sunday. But anyway, I will be doing a live chat Monday, at 4 p.m. Eastern, if you guys want to come to that. And I still need to catch up on Riverdale, so I haven't even had a chance to do that, so I can't talk about that today and get back on track with that. But I also plan on doing a video about this week's episode of How to Get Away with Murder and getting that up on my channel this weekend. So thank you so much for sticking with me. I really appreciate that. But anyway, yeah, I thought this was a good episode. I really am enjoying How to Get Away with Murder this half season even more than last half season, and I'm just really excited to see where everything goes. But I'm going to let you guys go for now and start working on my sit-down video about this. But thank you guys so much for being here. This was so much fun. And I hope to see those of you who watch This Is Us at my live chat on Monday. Remember, just always watch my Twitter. I will have announcements if anything changes, but announcements about live chats and videos. Anytime I post a video, it also posts immediately to Twitter, so you'll know, because I know sometimes YouTube just doesn't notify people. But I hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope you guys have a really great weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.